You spin me right round, baby. Oh, hey, it's live. Look at that. I did something right. I've made so many mistakes in my life, but I'm so proud. Hey, we're live. We're getting ready to do this show, and I have no idea where ours is because, yeah, it's not where I thought it was. We almost did the clutch. We're not doing the clutch. What are we doing again?
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee.
I'm clicking the buttons. It's
There's
not
only
working
one
for
brew
me.
that gets my
How about
seal
for
of
you?
approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is... Everyone thinks because you're a zombie,
Like,
you don't
seriously,
know good
nothing's working for me. Clickety click. We're live, and I can't click into it.
Everyone thinks
won't play
because you're a
nothing.
zombie, you don't know good coffee.
Sounds
Well, they're
great.
wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my...
Hey, we're just gonna do the show a little different. We don't have an intro or anything like that.
Everyone thinks
it's
because
not
you're
working.
a zombie, you don't know.
It's not my fault. I've clicked it like 5 times. Let me try a different one.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good.
None of our intros are working.
It's not working?
No, none of the intros are working. It's not my fault. Trust me. I know how to click.
This is Maximus Christian Bryant with the Ohio Haunters Association, president, and you are watching Chainer's Haunted Secrets on the Owl Light Network. This is Maximus Christian Bryant with the Ohio Haunters Association.
So, let's go into this show. Let me just point out that I officially have clicked the button like 5 times, and it will not play our intro. So apparently, the intro doesn't like me or whatever.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie.
There it goes again. It mutes everybody, but it doesn't do nothing. So we're just going to kick some tires, light some fires in this show because this is just how this goes with this show. I can act like I'm playing the music, and it's just not doing it. So, oh, now we lost Friday. That's so. Sometimes I just want to cry. I got yelled at the other day, so I don't know what to do or say. But anyway, hey, this is Chainer's Haunted Secrets. And today's guest, we have Jess. That's what I'm going to go in with. We'll get Friday back. She'll get here. I don't know what's going on with our technical difficulties. I think it's just going to play this whole game with me and do the stuff. So welcome to the freaky show, Jess, because we're having technical difficulties left and right. Yes, I can add that. Hey, why are you down there? There you go. And you were worried about being nervous on the show, Jess. Let me just tell you, you don't have to be, do you?
No.
All right. So, hi. Welcome to the show. That's not exactly working. It's kind of like the broken wagon that you just hooked the tractor up to and everything fell apart tonight. But we don't care because right now we have Jess. And Jess, tell us a little bit about yourself because there's a little bit that I don't know. I mean, I got pictures here and I'm just wanting you to tell us a little bit about yourself because I'm losing my train of thought. Things are not working.
Okay. I'm Jess. I have been in the haunt industry for about 4 years now. I thought SFX makeup was really cool. So at the end of one of the years, it was after COVID, I decided I was going to go pick up Halloween makeup and just go with it. All makeup was on sale. It's like, I'm just going to run with it. So I've been trying for the last few years trying to do it. And I currently volunteer at Misfit Haunted House. And I do makeup there with another gentleman. And that's just something that I love doing. I also work at the Blood Prison But unfortunately, I got injured right before haunt season started. So we're going to start that again next year. But this is something I love doing. So been putting all my effort into that.
It's awesome. So what made you just all of a sudden just pick stuff up and see? What was it, like something that you always dreamed about, or?
I've been to a lot of haunted houses, and the makeup is just very intriguing to me. I just thought it was really neat. I'm not artistic. You give me a pencil and paper, I cannot draw you nothing. You give me makeup and blood, I'm on it. Like, it's a whole different, I guess, characteristic than actually just drawing. So it's just been a lot of fun, something I've always wanted to do.
That's awesome. I could be truthfully honest. I wear a mask because I can't do makeup. And the thing is, even when you do a mask, you should apply a little makeup because it gets rid of the skin that just happens to pop underneath some of the lighting. But I am not a good makeup person. So, nay, if I can cover this face, I will do that. But when it comes down to haunted houses, this is a group that doesn't always get the props that they should. And I feel bad because when you're going and you're seeing the monsters and they're coming at you and they're like right in your face and you can see them, there's only a couple of things that really catch people's attention. And I love this. It is the makeup and how everything looks and this and that. And if it's tacky, you're going to really be pulled out of that atmosphere. The second one is the smell. If your monster smells like BO or Axe body spray, you might have issues. But there are different scents that you can put on it. And I only know this because some of the artists have told me about this. So what's your favorite part of being a makeup artist?
Most likely bringing it to life. Something that you would think is actually real.
What's one of your favorite characters that you've brought?
I don't particularly do certain characters, but I love doing wounds. I love doing cuts, bite marks. Well, I've been learning how to do bite marks, but definitely wounds is my favorite thing to do. So more gory than just your typical character.
Okay. So we do have some pictures here of these wonderful wounds. And I'm just going to tell you, that one just screams lunchtime to me. But so what's one of the things that you have to take in consideration when you're doing something like this?
It's all about trust. Obviously, I'm going to start learning how to do molds so I don't actually have to do that on a person. But it's trust. It's a lot of work. It's sitting still for, a little bit of time. Somebody's got to trust you with, scissors and tweezers and latex, wherever they're, putting a wound. So it's definitely something that you've got to put your mind into, something that you want to be able to create, that somebody's going to look at it and be like, wow, that looks real. They wouldn't believe it, but it's fake.
Okay. So when you're doing a wound, an injury, or this and that, is there any do's and don'ts you need to absolutely put in your head with some stuff?
Yeah, so don't do something to somebody that you wouldn't necessarily do to yourself. So I've learned over the years not to put latex in somebody's eyebrow because that does not end very well. And then also, like, if you have somebody new that you're doing makeup on, make sure you let them know the proper steps of taking a wound off. Just because I've seen a lot, not personally me, but I've seen, people rip off, their eyebrows or, hair on their arms, and it's not pleasant. So just trying to make sure everybody understands, the ins and outs of it.
So I'm glad that you bring this up. And as soon as you said latex, I started laughing, and I try not to just lose myself on this, but yeah, fun little story. We had a haunter that was a friend, and he decided that he wanted to look like the Incredible Hulk. He didn't have the body for Incredible Hulk, but boy, did he have a lot of latex green. It was great until it wasn't. Latex is one of those things that you don't sweat very well through. And latex is also one of those things that I swear they use at a Asian beauty salon to rip out every hair because it does not let go. He left, instead of looking like the Incredible Hulk, he looked like the Incredible Red Hulk from all the hair he was missing.
Yep.
So please, and we're going to touch on this like majorly, if you guys are just playing with it and just seeing how it operates, okay, little spot, not little spot, or little spot. That's something that you guys have to understand. So what do you kind of what's a warning about some of these makeups?
A warning is just be patient, practice. I have 2 boys of my own, and I practice on them. If I don't have them, then I practice on my leg. But it's all about being patient and getting to learn. I mean, you can't learn enough. I mean, I learn Keith Newsom. He's teaching me a thing or two. That way I can better myself. And it's all about patience. I mean, you if you don't have that, then you're not going to be able to do makeup. I mean, because you got to think, once you get into a haunt, doing your own makeup is different. But when you get into a haunt, you're working on, 20, 40 people a night, and it becomes a lot. And so you have to have patience to be able to do all that and work through it.
So one of the warnings that I can always think of is, as we were talking about latex, that's an important warning. If you're allergic to latex, make sure you
Don't
pay
use it.
attention to what you're using. Another one, I don't know if this is what goes across your head, but another thing that you need to really pay attention to, and this is super important to a lot of people, if it's not your paint, don't take it. Don't use it. Because not everybody has the same mixtures.
Correct.
It's not just a, hey, that's mine, you should not touch mine. It can become a very dangerous situation. Ask the person, talk to the person, and say, hey, can I use a little of this color? Can I use a little of this and that? Now, if you have a community table at your haunt and it's a blood table, sure, douse yourself in the blood. But do not take someone else's makeup. Number one, they probably put some serious money into it. Number two, you don't know what's in that kit. So now, when you're going through and you're making something like this, what is one of the things that you use the most of?
Latex and blood are my favorite two things to use. So, latex I use the most of. But the more thick blood that I have on there is basically for the inside, and then I use a more thin blood to make it drip. The thick blood just gives it more character, so it looks more, real. So, but yeah, latex, I use a lot of latex and blood.
Okay. So how long did it take for you to start getting some of this down where it was like, oh my gosh, look at this?
It took me a while. Like I said, it's all about practicing. The more you practice, the better you become. I did not get, I wouldn't say confident in myself because I knew that I could probably do it, but it took me probably about 1.5 years before I could do really good wounds. That one was difficult. That photo was really difficult. So I ended up using a contact last year. That was last year's haunt photo, and I couldn't see. And my mistake, I put mascara on underneath that prosthetic, and my lashes got stuck. So I had to pull it most of the night. So warning, if you're using mesh over your eye, do not put mascara on. So, but yeah, I mean, I love doing it. It's time consuming sometimes. It just depends what depth you want to go in. But yeah, probably about 1.5 years before I decided, hey, this is, I want to show this off.
That's awesome. I will tell you, before we in the haunted house industry had all these crazy kits we could get, we would come up with some of the craziest things. These kits are a lot more body friendly than the creativity that old school used to do. Old school used to take a potato and cut the potato as thin as it could and make an eye covering. It works, but it is not healthy. I'm just saying, it is not healthy, and I hope everybody understands how not healthy it is.
That's interesting to know.
Some of the things that people used to shove in their face to make it look awesome and scare somebody scares me as a haunt owner, because I'm afraid that my children will find it.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I haven't heard about a potato.
She's back again.
I missed something. Hey, now it's working. Yay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, my charger wasn't plugged up, but yeah. Where do you suggest a person starting to when they're getting into makeup?
Lots of tutorials. I've YouTube quite a bit. And then I've asked some hunters, for some advice, hey, if I do this, is this the outcome I'll get? I mean, you spend money. I mean, it's just something that you do. Yeah, you got to waste money in order to be able to get used to it. So, but yeah, I started watching YouTube tutorials.
Now, are you telling me that what? I'm so confused, Jenny.
It's the same. Okay, I have found I am not good at makeup. I am blind. But my kids were wanting to learn how to put on like makeup like you would for going out or something. So I'm like, let's look up YouTube tutorials because I don't know and I'm too blind to do it myself. So yeah, you start the same place with all the makeup apparently.
Yes. Yeah, there are pretty good YouTube tutorials about it. On TikTok, there's lots of people that get on there and do SFX makeup, and they teach you like step by step on how to do it. So, I mean, it's just all about trying. You gotta try. You gotta start somewhere and just trying. Like the photos that Piles just showed, those are actually on my leg. Those are I literally just used my leg and just started going at it.
So I'm never going to be a particular, and I know that these are all practices and just seeing this and that. I will point out, when you get better, you will stare at something and go, can I make this a little better? Yes, you can, but you need to know there's a cutoff line. Don't overdo something because then you're going to mess it up. But something like this, make sure you put it in a place where the tattoo can be covered up. And like I said, I know that this is playing, checking out, this and that. But when you're doing stuff like this, apply the stuff in a place that there's not a tattoo, unless you're able to cover it up and this and that. And then you're going to use half of your makeup trying to cover up Billy Bob Thornton's sleeve. And I'm just telling you.
Correct.
Tattoos are great, but I can cover up a tattoo with a costume faster than I can cover up a tattoo with some of these effects. I've been around, I've seen
wrong.
a lot, and I questioned why this was done in some people's brains. And it's me going through a haunt. But I don't want to look at them and go, oh, you know, that tattoo sure looks. But one of the coolest things I've ever seen was a guy that actually had a sleeve, and it looked like a blast mark. And the blast mark actually had peeled skin, and there was lines that matched up to his tattoo.
That's cool.
It took a lot of effort, a lot of time, and do not ever feel that you are going to be the master in 5 seconds. You have to make mistakes.
Yep.
This is absolutely a work of art, and you want to be an artist. It takes time to practice, work on your style, because Jess, would you agree that every single artist has a different style?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I like the hands-on. I like using prosthetics. I love doing the wounds. But then there's some, people that are out there that are so talented. I know at the blood prison, I was learning how to use airbrush. And they've got some talented people that can turn wounds with an airbrush. I mean, it's all different types of art. Everybody's got their own style. Everybody's got their own ways of doing it. But yeah, it's definitely, you have to practice in order to figure out exactly what best suits you.
And I love looking at makeup. If you are a person that likes to see this stuff be done, I highly recommend you go to haunted houses when they have open shows, or go to haunt conventions that they're trying to show you how these are done. You'll see someone be able to do a quick way, but in the beginning, you have to have the opportunity to find your way. That way you can start making your quick way. You can never start quick, because it'll look like my face. But I'm telling you, I love
it's very time consuming, and lots of people don't
Oh, yeah.
understand. Like, when I first started to do what I do now, it took me like 40 minutes. Like, it's not something that you can just master overnight. I mean, it's something you really have to put your heart into, because if not, I mean, it's not going to look right. And like you said, it's, you got to make sure that it lines up properly. Like, lots of people nowadays have tattoos, and so that stuff is, hard to cover. It's hard to, so you got to make sure that practice. That's all you can do.
It's when you're a person going through a haunt, there's a couple things that catch your eyes. It's how the room is set, how the room is designed, how this creature, this person, whatever, comes out, and how they are set up. And that's one of the big, huge things when you're doing the haunted house industry. People are going to see, does this match this? And that is where you don't want to use vibrant colors for an old grandma that's sitting in a wheelchair. It's
Right.
not going to work. So take your time, understand everything.
And it's also about proper lighting. You got to think, if you're in a room that's, super dark, you don't want to do something, that's just going to blend in. You want something that, people are going to see when they walk through, that they actually see you. So like doing practice runs with makeup and making sure the person in that room matches the lighting in there, because if not, you're just not going to see them and they're going to blend in. So the people are just going to walk through and just think, nothing of it. It's not really like a scare tactic. You got to make sure the lighting matches the person that is acting in that room.
Is there a type of wound or look that you're aspiring to?
Not really. I mostly do cuts. Is what I mostly do. I've started trying to do this year bite wounds. It's a lot more difficult than a lot of people think. As you can see, the photo that Biles put on there, that was just me practicing, trying to do bite marks. Obviously, nobody's teeth is that freaking perfect. So I was just giving it a whirl, trying, new things. So there was another tutorial I watched on how to do bite wounds. So I'm going to give it a try next time I pull out my makeup, which will be this weekend. So, yeah, I mean, it's mostly cut wounds that I do.
Do you have clay?
I just ordered some.
Okay. I don't know if this is going to be something that works for you, but I know that someone told me a while back, if you want to do a bite mark, you look at a bite mark.
Yep.
I looked at him, I said, you ain't biting me. And he said, no, you take a thing of clay and you chomp down on it, and you kind of look at the way that you are, and you can match it up as you're working on the person.
Correct.
Because if you need more of a puncture mark because it's a vampire, then you got to play with it. But remember that crazy old guy. I don't remember what haunt he was from, but it was kind of interesting because I looked at it and I told him, I said, that looks pretty awesome. And he goes, you think you're wanting to do this? Hell no. But that's the thing. There are some people that want to do this stuff and they don't know how to start. And then there's others that kind of look at it like, let's not.
Yep. Yeah, I don't discourage anybody. If you want to try it, try it. I mean, I it's something that I enjoy doing. It's not for everybody. So I mean, all you got to do is try. I mean, if you don't like it after you get into it, there's no harm in trying something new.
That's true, but understand, if you're going to try this is something that is going to be one of those, it's going to cost you money to try.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
why
need
I
to.
suggest waiting until,
Mhm.
Halloween's over and all the makeup's half off, 75% off. That's
Yep.
the time to go. That's when I started picking up makeup to try, is when everything was on sale.
And honestly, that's a great time to start trying because everything's on sale. You're buying stuff. You have all this time to learn. You can look at the videos. You can talk to people. You got all this off season time to work on things.
Yep.
I'm a procrastinator. I like to build a building. And when I build a building, it probably should have took a lot longer than it did, but I was on a time crunch. Did that happen this year? Yes, sirree. But it is a freaky thing. And that's the thing. If you got the time, make yourself more of a master at it. You can do so many things. I'm a jack of many trades, but ace of none. I mean, you should ask me about my membership cards. Apparently, I leave out names. Anyway, I'm just telling you, it is one of those things that you take your time, you work on it. And when you work on things, that's how you make yourself better. If I'm wrong about something, Jess, interrupt me, smack me across the face.
No, I agree with you 100%. It's
I am not.
it's not something that you go in thinking that, I mean, just like there was a topic that came up, I think it was on the OHA page about, how much money haunters make. And once you get into this industry, honestly, it's not even about that. I mean, it's about the love for the industry and love what you're doing. But if you're going to do makeup, it's definitely not something you want to start off with the bat, paying full price and paying, until you know what you're doing, because you're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. There's things that is going to happen that you're going to be like, crap, I cannot believe I just wasted money on that. But, I mean, it's something you literally have to put yourself in the position of thinking that what you just bought, that money's going to be trashed. I mean, it's just something that a lot of people have to think about. I've had people over the years message me and ask if I can teach them. And sure, I can, teach you. But, it's a huge step in doing something that you love. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. I would not do it if you definitely don't have the money just to throw away.
That's almost everything in the haunted house industry. I mean, props are going to be great until they're not.
Right.
Costumes are going to be great until they're not.
Correct.
There are some props I will not purchase, I will not buy, I will not bring to my haunt because my little minions will destroy them. And that might be $100 and some piece of trash in 5 seconds. Not saying that it's not made high quality, just saying that they're kids.
Right.
Yeah. And know your allergies.
Yes.
Yes, please know your. Did you know that if you're allergic to latex, you could also be allergic to. I'm gonna have to come back to that because I know what's in guacamole.
Avocados?
Yeah, you can be allergic to avocados. If you're allergic to, yeah, it's a weird thing. Not everybody is, but if you're allergic to avocados, you can be allergic to latex. It's weird. Why? I don't know. I guess there is something that seems similar between the two things. But that's very important. Make sure that if you are trying something new and you're not sure what kind of makeup it is or what kind of basis it is, you have somebody with you. If you have any allergies, it's kind of nice to have somebody help you get that cleaned off of you immediately. And the thing is, once again, I am not a makeup person, and I know these things because I've seen them go horribly wrong. It might be funny at the time, but it's not funny. And then once it's over with and everybody's okay, then it's really funny.
Right.
But
Yeah.
please stay conscious of what you're getting into. It's yeah. So I got another picture here. Look at this fun crew.
Yeah.
What do we got? Where's this at? And why does Freddy Krueger look like yeah.
So this is so if you're in the haunt industry, obviously you know that most of us become family. And this is my small Halloween family. This is Misfit Haunted House. We're in Mount Sterling, Ohio. We do one weekend, a Friday and a Saturday, but this was our last year's photo. After the night was over on Saturday, we all got together and got a photo. Just because, photos sometimes you need to have them. So it's just all of us acting goofy after, the weekend was over.
That's awesome. And I'll tell you, when you can make a bonding at a haunt and you have this whole situation where all these people are coming together for one thing, it is really great. And I'm always glad for that. But right now, I am going to put up something because we all love this part of the show. Ha! That picture's not coming up either. There. Questions by this little guy right here. We've got a couple questions that this little guy loves to ask. And he has chosen a couple questions, and our wonderful Friday will be able to ask.
Okay, I know we've talked about makeup and you have answered this, but since it's his questions, we're going to ask a very specific version of it. Have you done any makeup of SCP characters?
No, I have not.
Okay, and I say SCP because he asked about 3 different ones, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just say SCPs. Okay, do you like sharks?
Yes.
Do you
We
like
love Shark Week.
You love Shark Week? Oh, we have bought it so he can watch it over and over, and he has shark shoes. Shark Week shoes, even, okay? Do you have tennis shoes that you love?
I do not. Surprisingly, I do not like shoes. I rather be barefoot. Nope.
Okay.
I do not like shoes, Sam. I do not like them across my feet.
That's okay. Have you built things with Legos with your boys?
Yes, absolutely. We have totes full of Legos, and we actually just bought more Legos yesterday.
All right.
Dude, I've been cheating and buying those multi-packs from Dollar Tree where you get like 72 to 82 in a pack.
Well, I just bought at Target. They had the big Wednesday Addams Lego set on clearance.
Oh, that is awesome.
Oh, I'm so excited to put it together.
That will be beautiful to see.
Yes, it's their dorm room.
Oh, that rocks.
Yes.
You said you had puppies. You want to know what type of puppies?
I have 2 American bullies. They are pocket bullies, and I have a new Boston Terrier puppy.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yes, crazy, but yes, a lot of fun.
Okay. I can't remember what the last one was, but yeah, I think that's all the questions from him. But yeah, he appreciates you answering them, and he loves all haunters and asking them questions.
That is fine. I'm happy to answer them.
He does. He's a wonderful kid, and man, it's awesome getting some of his fun questions that just randomly go everywhere. but that's what we like about it. So
You've seen hunters in full makeup and costume and asked, "Ooh, can I play with their toy?"
So I've got a really good question here, and I've never brought it up on any other show, which I'm just going to throw it at you because you're here now. What do you feel is one of the most important fields in the haunted house industry? Be the makeup, be the actors, be the behind the scene crew, because they're all important. Let me point out, they're all important.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it wasn't for our crew and everybody we have, it wouldn't go together. I mean, like I said, we're family. If we don't work together and we don't all, see the same, like, that's the cool thing about it is you got, all haunts have a different amount of actors, a different amount of people that set up, take down, have ideas. And it's just so awesome to see everybody say, oh, well, how about this idea? Or how about this idea? Oh, okay, let's combine those ideas. You have to have everybody come together, whether you agree on something or not. Having everybody have a different idea, like if it wasn't for our behind the scenes crew and people that put up our walls, we wouldn't have walls. We wouldn't have we wouldn't have a haunt. If it wasn't for our actors showing up, like my home haunt is Misfit Haunted House. We are all volunteer. We base everything on donations. And if it wasn't for the people that showed up to act and volunteer for us, then our haunt wouldn't happen. And so you have to have a lot of dedication to be able to do that. I do makeup. I do not get paid for it. I volunteer. And that's, time, that I am putting into it because it's something that I love to do. If it wasn't for, the community, like I live in a 2 stoplight little town. That's where our haunt is. Like we're little. And, if it wasn't for our community, we wouldn't have anybody to go through. So it's like everybody's got to come together, and it all comes together. I mean, there's nobody that's, we all have to come together for it.
So tell me about Misfit. I mean, you said it is all volunteers. Why does it exist? What's it there for?
So the Masonic Lodge in Mount Sterling puts on a haunted house every year. All of us are volunteer. We actually have in our school district where we live, the students have to have a certain amount of community service hours to graduate. So we also have kids from the high school that come in and they help us. And so they're able to get, their community service hours, but it also gives them a feel behind the scenes of a haunt. It's something I'm not old, but this is something that I enjoy doing. This is something that, I've followed for the last 4 years, almost 4 years now. And it gets them to see, what it's like and to appreciate what haunters do. So when they go to a bigger haunt, they can be like, wow, this little haunt came together to do what these bigger haunts do. And so we just all come together for the 2 days. And one thing that led me to going to Misfit, so before I started acting and doing makeup for Misfit, I went through the haunt. They do a 2-hour time frame where they open it up to special needs children. And we leave lights on, all strobes off, all fog off. All actors get into costumes and they meet the children. So our young little haunters come in and they're able to see what it's like behind the scenes. So they're not, scared. They're not, nervous. But my youngest, who is 7, he has epilepsy. And so me loving, Halloween, loving haunts, loving, it was really hard for me to show him what mom does. And so when I had saw that that's what they do, that's what made me want to give back and help them, because they do that for young kids. And so that's what made me, that's always going to be like my home haunt. And but this year we're doing something new. It was my idea, because when I went to the OHA meeting back in January, we went to Distracted Haunted House, and they were doing posters of some of the actors walking around. They were doing autographs, and I thought that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. So this year I am putting together a autograph book where I'm going to take photos of the actors before our haunt, and I'm going to give the photos to the actor, and as the little haunters come through, they get to get a photo of the actor, they get to give an autograph, and they can take pictures. And so I just think it engages them more into, a haunted house, and so they get to see like behind the scenes type thing. So it's something that I really enjoy doing, and I love the fact that they do that, especially with my little having epilepsy and ADHD. It's, hard to see other, I think it's very encouraging. Very encouraging.
Mm-hmm. I think that's awesome. Kudos to you guys. Hopefully you guys have another wonderful season. I will tell you, it's hard to find haunts that want to work with that type. The small, the ones that have special needs, this and that, because we're the ones that go bump in the night. We're the ones that do this and that, which is awesome that we do. Ours, Chainers Field of Screams, we have a Nobu trick or treat. Gives opportunity for kids of all ages to go through, and it gives them opportunity to see what's behind stuff. And we don't have costumes on. At least we don't have our mask on. And kids can go through and kind of look at it and say, okay, well, I know where this is going to be, and I know this, I know that. Gives them the opportunity that they can come back later and think where it is until the monsters are released. And once they get released, that's when the whole show starts. And what you think you don't know. So, yes, I think it's awesome. We invite the people with special needs to come out during Nobu Trick or Treat. And it's totally free, because then you have that opportunity. But yes, right. I'm glad to see other haunts are doing it. I'm glad to see that other haunts are doing their best to do great things like this. Hopefully you guys keep on keeping on and doing so many great things with it. But yeah, so is there anything else that you want to talk about with Misfit?
Not really. I mean, it definitely opened my eyes and put into perspective, what a haunted house is really like, and seeing behind the scenes. And that's another reason why I stepped up and applied for Blood Prison, is just because, it made me see that, what I'm doing is good, and the makeup quality that I do and stuff. So it really made me feel good when, I went for the interview and spoke to Jen and Vic, both of them amazing people. And it just, put my foot in the direction that I want to go. I want to keep growing and stuff, but Misfit, definitely, that'll always be my home haunt. That's, it's where I started. It's where I continue to grow. But just a bunch of great people. Definitely family. It's no longer just, typical work, like what some people think. They're like family. It's not just during haunt season. We hang out quite a bit.
So through the years of experience I have done, and maybe have a year or two in this industry, maybe, I have found out that if you do this for passion, you usually do a lot better job because that's what drives you than if you're doing it for pay. The two P's will always compete, but the passion will always outdo pay. Once you do pay, you lose the passion because now you have the problem of, okay, I need to do a good job because this is how I live. Versus, this is what I enjoy and I want to take myself to a next level. Now, is that for everybody? No. In fact, I have a friend that has nothing to do with haunted houses, doesn't care about them, but he works at haunted houses. There is no passion for him to do this outside of I get a paycheck. Has that destroyed anything? No, because he loves his creativity. He loves putting minor details. He loves being able to put the simplest touch on a piece of dice, which could be a bloody fingerprint. It's just that little detail that he loves being able to do. And that is not haunting. That is a paycheck, but he still enjoys what his job is. So always take in consideration that you guys have to find a balance before you guys can get paid. If you guys are going to take this, and I'm not saying seasonal help, I'm saying full time, this is what I want to do, this is this, because once you lose your touch in that, you might want to consider finding a different ground, because pay is pay. If you're a haunt owner, your pay goes into this haunt. Unless it's a really profitable one, then you're like, yay. But ours is a charity haunt. I don't get any money from it. My pay goes in there. My parents help with stuff. A lot of people volunteer their time and supplies. It's one of the greatest things. You said this is put on by who? The Masons?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that's great. And I hope that they continue this wonderful tradition, not just to help the kids that are there, but to keep on expanding this to make it something that years and years, generations can look back and say, I remember doing this. Because that's great when a club can say, you know what, we did this.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. Like, I mean, like I said, we live in a small town, a little community. And, obviously that's one thing that I take pride in is, people go through and they'll be like, wow, that person's makeup was really cool, And so, obviously a little town, people are gonna, share photos and, and so it means a lot, not a lot of people. I've had questions like, why do you volunteer? You do such a great job. You can make really good money doing that, but it's not about the money. It's literally about doing something that I enjoy doing. And, having our little community, having, something. We live in the middle of nowhere, for crying out loud. These kids, they don't really have anything to do out here. And these kids, they get excited. I mean, this is one of the biggest things that our little town does. And they talk about it for months before, they're still talking about it afterwards. I mean, and so it's a lot of fun to come together. And I'm just really thankful that, that we're able to do this, because we encourage all ages to come through. Now, do we think that all ages should come through after dark? Probably not. But we encourage it, come through, but it's just like any haunted house. Some people get scared, some people don't. But it's definitely a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
That's awesome. And I'm glad to hear that you guys are all going to continue this and have fun with it. Hopefully it goes on for years and years and years. And maybe perhaps if I get a rain day, maybe I can make my way over there and go see it. I love going to see other haunts. Unfortunately, as a haunt owner, a haunt actor, a haunt teacher, haunt everything, it is really hard for me to do it unless you are running it before I run mine, or if you're doing it after, or seasonal. Seasonal is fun because then I can go see what you guys have taken into a different time zone, which I imagine you guys are just that one weekend and you guys are not going to. Now, how much building is this? Like, how much to put this together? Let me ask this.
So if you would walk into our haunt without our walls being up, you would think there's no way this place is going to turn into a haunt. It's a lot smaller than what people think, but when those walls go up, it is a different story. It looks so much bigger than it really is. So no, I cannot say it is huge. But it's a pretty good, walk through. And then this year we decided to do something more to the back. So that, that way it's a little bit longer than what it normally is. So, yeah, we don't have a lot of space to work with, but there's enough space that, it takes a little bit to get through.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I'll tell you, even though you're injured and you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, if you go out and you start going through a couple haunts just to see this and that, let me know. Get a hold of me if you're in my neck of the woods. I'd be more than happy to just give you tickets and let you get through, because that's what ours is, a really small one. But it is not how big it is, it's the passion behind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're open 2 days this year. It's actually Friday, October 31st, so on Halloween Day, and November 1st.
Those are our last two. And this year is going to be the first year that we have ever been open on November 1st. I refused to do it for many, many years. But since I've got a boy that has given the A-OK to haunt on his birthday, we are going to be open on his birthday. Which,
That's awesome.
That would be one heck of a party.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we had last year when we had our haunt, one of our actors, her birthday was on one of the days that we had. And so I surprised her, and because we have a DJ out front that plays music. And so I completely surprised her and make everybody in line sing happy birthday to her.
Yes. I would still do that. So this year, do me a favor, get as many pictures and see if you can send them to us. If it's okay with your haunt and everything, we would like to see them, and we would like to post them on our Facebook. That way, everybody else gets a little bit of an idea. We like to post these pictures, even these pictures that we have to put a warning that this is fake, because, Facebook and other places are like, no, don't, no. But yeah.
Yes, I get sensory warnings on mine.
Get sensory warnings on some of the things I post. Like the toothpick. So, hey, I know that you're going to only join us for half. So I want to thank you very much for coming on. And I know that you were nervous, but I don't think you were too nervous to be on here. We tried doing a really laid back. If you have any haunters that think, oh, you know what, maybe I want to do what you just did, let them get a hold of us. Friday, how do people get a hold of us?
Well, you can message us at Chainer's Haunted Secrets. You can send us an email at chainershauntedSecrets@gmail.com. Or you can send a message through Owlite Network or Owlite Society at gmail.com. We will get you on the show, and we just want to know all the great little things about you.
And just because it's not haunt season doesn't mean that we don't talk about haunting. And
I think
if
we
you're
do
a haunter,
all year.
you talk about haunting year round. That's not our fault. It's a defect in our love. So
thank you, Jess.
I appreciate you. What's that?
I said thank you, Jess, and thank you for not minding little man questions.
Oh, no, I appreciate all the questions.
Well, we appreciate you. Hopefully your talents get better and better and better and better. And you know what? Maybe one of these days, you could do some makeup on a teenage girl, not tell her what it is, and make her think she's got a pimple. That would make her scream.
Yes, absolutely.
So, hey, we thank you guys and you very much. And if I can get this to work, we're going to do a commercial break. Oh, look, we're going to see if we can do this. I click it. Maybe it takes a little longer. We might. No, I'm pretty sure she don't want to work. So, hey, Jess, we appreciate you, and we're going to keep on rolling on this show because we're having technical difficulties left and right, and I might have to do side saddle on this computer and activate my other computer. So hold on one second here because I'm going to work on stuff.
It was running.
It was? Because it wasn't.
It was running.
It wasn't showing up on my end at all.
It was showing up on my end.
Well, I'm glad because it wasn't doing nothing on mine. Here, I was kicking commercials off left and right. I can possibly do two computers at once. Do you think this is a possibility?
Yeah.
Maybe. I can try it again and see if it'll work. I love when things don't work.
You know, we'll figure this out.
I know, right? One way or another.
I'll have my setup hopefully by Wednesday of next week.
Yeah, I hope. But you know what? In the meantime, I swear.
Greetings and shabebans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Steve's trying to say is that on Retro Reductibus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorking Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Reductibus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to Chainer's Haunted Secrets. We have a muted pile.
This is Maximus Christian Bryant with the Ohio Haunters Association, president, and you are watching Chainer's Haunted Secrets on the Owl Light Network.
Okay, we might be having some technical difficulties, but isn't that part of the whole thing that's called the Owl Light Network?
Of course it is.
So,
dude, this has just been a thing.
I want you to know right now, okay, the way that this is operating, I have two screens, okay? When I say two screens, I mean I've got one here and I've got one here. And if I wanted to, I could put myself on here in two different computers, because what is going on right now is one computer does not want to activate everything correctly, and the other one is. And curiosity killed the cat here.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you...
Yeah, the intro would have worked on the other computer. But since we're here, we all love it. Let's see. Yes, I'm a happy camper. And it's fine because my computer over here says that Friday said it's working, and Pile Hazard said, yes, it is. Yeah, a lot of different things going on the fly, working stuff on the fly. That's how it operates on a live podcast every single time. So Jenny, let's start going and start talking about some haunted house stuff. I'll give you some updates. Chainer's Field of Screams will be opening this Friday. Yes, this Friday. 8:00 is when the ticket booth. Tickets are going to be $12. I'm going to have a special guest coming out to the haunt on Saturday. I'm not telling anybody who it is. I'm just telling you. That's awesome. One of the things that we had to update, and I mean we had to update, was these parking signs. And these parking signs, you got to understand that we're on two of the busiest roads for our haunt to be on. County Road 25A and State Route 274 here in Ohio. And one of the killer things is people were going to the actual address of the haunt, which is awesome, just not where you park. So we actually made some brand new signs. The arrows got put on. We have one that says parking ahead, one that does not have an arrow or a head on it. It just says Chainer's parking. We're hoping this grabs a lot more people's attention. We're working on that, painting it. One of the things that I've been working on in the haunted house industry is being a person with Ohio Haunters Association. We have a convention coming up. It's in May. It's Mother's Day weekend. So let me say this correctly and let me make it very clear. Haunt mothers, please take in consideration it's Mother's Day, but truly, where would you like to spend your Mother's Day weekend? You know, getting some wonderful flowers, or at a convention dealing with all the haunted house stuff you can handle at the Ohio Reformatory. Yes, the Ohio Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. You know, the place where they taped Shawshank Redemption. Blood Prison, we just had Jess on here. Jess was talking about Blood Prison, and Blood Prison will be open one of the days, maybe 2 days. I think just one, though. It gives you opportunity. Why? The convention's going on. The haunt will be operating. That is great. We're having it in May. Weather is kind of weird here in Ohio, so maybe it might be awesome, or it might be cold, or it might be seriously freaking hot because I don't know where all the heat comes from. So no matter what, it is going to be at Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. Please check Ohio Haunters Association's website at ohiohaunters.com. And I have this little thing that scrolls, and I'm going to try clicking on it. And I guarantee nothing. It might work, it might not. Look, it's working. There's a website. Go ahead, do that. Now, Jenny, I know that you're a member of the Ohio Haunters Association, and you're in Texas. But even though you're in Texas, you've been able to do something with the Ohio Haunters Association already this year, have you not?
I've been able to do multiple things with the Ohio Haunters Association this year.
So she became a member, and when she became a member, she was able to watch the very first class that Ohio Haunters Association started putting out. It's for members only. Membership is $20. And yes, I'm going to plug the heck out of this because I'm also the person that makes all the cards. So, you know, you get a card. I made it. Gets sent to your house.
Okay. Since he seems to be stopped, frozen. The reason
Facebook,
I got
the book
there
of the
we go.
face would be awesome to me today. And I'd be able to pull up some stuff here, and I cannot. But I wish I could.
You're all frozen.
Ohio Haunters Association has got a list.
Yep, he's spinning. Okay. The biggest reason why I wanted a membership, even though I'm in Ohio, I got this kid. She looks up how to make animatronics, how to make different things that you can use in a haunt. And with this, I get to do classes. And they're pre-recorded, and I will get to watch them, and then I will get to show my daughter later, and then we can sit down and talk about it, and then we can ask the haunters, because heck, she had questions and about haunting, and we've been able to get both Pyle and Raz T Slasher from Hell's Dungeon to answer them for her, and it has been awesome. But the Ohio Haunters Association's their website is really easy. You froze and you were spinning.
Yeah.
So I just started blabbing.
I think I'm back.
So as I was saying before, I hand it back to him. It is really easy
Hold
to
on one
navigate.
second.
I've been able to do it on my phone. I've been able to do it on the computer. And you can find out so many amazing things about the convention, so many amazing things about the Haunters Association. It is definitely worth it. Okay, now that you're back, I will shut up. And he's orange like a pumpkin.
All right.
There you are.
That was a whole bunch of fun. No, not really. So, like I said, what's been going on is I've had this computer and this one, and I just found out that this computer here hates me right now because, and this might be some of the problems, it didn't like my internet and it switched to my phone internet. So that's been a little bit of a problem. But yeah, we're just gonna go with this computer now because it's working for me.
That works. We can see your handsome face.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how good my sound is on this one because the microphone's hooked up to the other one right now.
I can hear you just fine.
So, oh my gosh. Sure.
Yes, he was.
I freeze all the time. It's okay.
Thank you for coming, Your Highness.
That's so funny. Backwoods princess. So, what we love doing on the show is having different haunters come on, telling us, because every single haunter is different. There's not a single haunt or haunter I know that is the same. And if you say that you are the same, you're lying. Because that's one of the greatest things about the haunted house industry. Every single haunt is different, and no matter how many times we my phone is not talking to anyone. Anyway, no matter what, one of the things that we love to do so much in the haunted house industry is just go to other haunts. And I know when you go through another haunt, you're like, how'd they do this? How'd they do that? That way you can learn as a haunter. You can learn how it is to do different things. That way people kind of better themselves. And that's one of the greatest things. You have to be able to better yourself as a haunt actor. I love you too. Who's my little buddy? So Brandon there makes me smile because he reminds me that I have not spent my quality time going to the finest restaurant in Ohio. Yes, Ponderosa in Columbus, Ohio, home of the Granny Panty Dropping Cake. Brandon, we're having to get together and spend quality time watching different people while eating meatballs. But,
so when are we going to get him on the Traveling Owl?
Oh my gosh. Brandon, are you still here?
Anyways, you also wanted to talk about things you needed to know before going to a haunt as well.
See, I knew you would remember what the heck I was going to talk about because I couldn't remember.
Okay. First, remember, buy tickets online or at gate. You check at the haunt themselves, and they will tell you what to do. Next, what do you suggest they do before they get to the haunt?
Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay, when you talk about tickets and try getting tickets online, let me tell you right now, there are some haunts that prefer you to buy tickets online. and there are haunts that prefer you to buy with cash in person. If you are a Ohio Haunters Association member, you'll want to bring that ID and that card with you when you buy the ticket in person. I say that because you get a discount in some haunts. Other haunts, not exactly. When you get to the haunt or you're looking at the haunt, parking is a big thing. Some haunts, it's free parking. Other haunts, it is $5 because they're parking at someone else's property. Make sure you pay attention to that. What is the policies of these haunts? Is it a policy that you go through a metal detector? Some haunts, that's the policy. You will go through the metal detector if you want to go and do it. These are all things that usually their website can show you. When you are going through, you need to really pay attention to how much money am I going to spend? I know the tickets are $25. So am I spending just $25 or am I spending $25 and bringing some extra money for snacks? Is there going to be a line? I know of one haunt that does not have a bathroom and it does not have a porta-john. Just saying. I know it. I know it exists. I'm not going to tell you what haunt. I don't think I should, I'll let that be a surprise. Google. Google is wonderful and terrible all at the same time. Google will destroy your experience or it will tell you information that you need to know. What? Merch. Don't forget to talk about the merch. Yes. If you want to buy a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, a keychain, or anything, yeah, absolutely go for it. I mean, I do. Well, yeah. I have more haunt clothes in my closet from other haunts than I do my haunt, number one. Number two, I have a lot of haunts that love me so much that I get free stuff. I'm not going to say I go to your haunt, I want free stuff. I'm just saying I will wear it. But these are all things that you guys need to pay attention. That makes sense.
Jess. That helps. You're so beautiful.
No kidding. I was so confused. Oh my gosh. I was like, who is this princess and why did you show up now?
Because she was on the show earlier. So
yeah.
Oh yeah. Make sure you know if you have like epilepsy or whatever, or you need your inhaler or whatever, before you go to the haunt, definitely bring your inhaler if you get scared easily.
Mm-hmm.
If you have epilepsy, check ahead of time if they have strobing lights or whatever. Know what your comorbidities are and if you can go through a haunt. And what might be at the haunt, because you don't want to end up with an allergy. Also, know your allergies before you become a haunt actor, please. Because if you're allergic to latex, some of the prosthetics can be a problem.
What? You think that'll be a problem?
It's no fun to be all itchy.
It's the Itchy and Scratchy show.
Dude, there's only 3 people I'm willing to deal with latex to do anything about, and we're already past that point with them, and I don't have to worry about it.
So, these are all key factors that you should know. You could flat out tell them, hey, I have a strobe problem. Am I going to be able to go? That's an important question. If you don't believe it's an important question, I think you're laughing and joking with yourself and you really don't care about yourself. You need to be able to focus and go through and enjoy yourself.
Yes. Check the weather. Oh, okay. We want to move that.
That's what that was. I was so confused. I was like, what? Yes, check the weather. It's important. Know if your haunt is an inside haunt or an outside haunt. Ooh. If it's a inside haunt, does the queue line have a awning? Is the queue line inside? These are really important questions. But yeah, it's one of those things that when you go through a haunt, you really need to pay attention to stuff. I can pull up Google responses all day long. But
or do like I did and just message the haunt. Hey, I got a question. And I have been answered by the haunt Facebook.
Yep. One thing I do want to point out, and this is important, okay? Haunts can be nice to each other or they can be mean to each other. When you're looking at a Google response, is that Google response a Google response that seems legit?
Yes.
Yeah?
Wear shoes that fasten to your feet that cover your whole foot. Because
stilettos.
Dude, if you're going to oh yeah, and if you're going to dress nice, make sure it's not like too nice. Because yes, I do dress up nice to go to a haunt, but it's usually that one and only date night I get to have in October. So make sure you can move in your shoes. And if it's an outdoor haunt, don't wear high heels for nothing. Don't wear high heels for anyway. Wear something comfortable. That way you can move.
No. All right. Let me ask you. Have you watched any of the shows and heard the story about Honey Glaze?
Oh my god, I love Honey Glaze. Honey Glaze is amazing.
Honey Glaze has to have a warning about things. Honey Glaze needs a warning.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Honey Glaze is a character I made, and I never thought I would ever get to use Honey Glaze, but Honey Glaze got used at Hell's Dungeon. And Hell's Dungeon was not ready for it, but it's okay. Because what happened was Honey Glaze loved it, Honey Glaze embraced it, and Honey Glaze ripped off his rippable pants multiple times, asking people, "Do you see my hands? Not my pants." Why? Because Honey Glaze could. Why did I do it? Because it was fun and it was embracive of never being done like that before. So yeah, no Pile in high heels though. Pile has bad ankles. Pile does not need that. Pile does not need to end up in an emergency room. Pile likes being a haunt actor, but Pile does not need to have a giant thing around his leg with two giant metal rods where he can use them as self-defense. You know what I'm talking about. You know it. So I do have a picture I'm going to try uploading on one computer. That way I can pull it up on another computer. Because this is how I'm working this system today. La 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 la.
We're going to figure out how to make this operation work.
We are. We are going to make it operational. It's just gonna take the two of us. We could make it if it tried. Just the two of us. You and I.
Anyway, so what was your favorite part about being Honey Glaze?
The hot wings. The hot wings. All right, so I got this picture. Hold on. Please wait. Boop. There we go. There is this wonderful list of all the OHA haunts that was put on here. We have Addams Family, American Horror Play. How does the Ohio Haunters Association have the American Horrorplex? Woohoo! You got it. Yeah, I did. But Louisville, Kentucky, the American Horrorplex. Oh, look, Chainer's Field of Screams in Botkins, which if you look our address up, it says it's Anna, but we're incorporated into Botkins. We're Botkins. Botkins, you got stuck with us. Yeah. Anyway, Botkins gives out $5 off of the price and free popcorn. So yes, it's $5 off. I guess that needs to be clarified. But it is $5 off, and you get free popcorn at Chainer's Field of Screams. Then you have the Cincinnati Fear Fest. 10% off of standard admission. Dark Harvest Productions. $2 off. Distracted Haunted House. Hey, we brought that up today, didn't we? Yeah, we were talking about them. Yeah. They're actually in a mall. It's very interesting. A haunted house in a mall. With them, you get $5 off. Forsaken for oh look, Richmond, Indiana. Look at that. You get $5 off. I like the discount I got the other day. They didn't know exactly what was going on, but Haunted Town Hall in Lafayette. Hey, Haunted Town Hall in Lafayette. You can actually go to Chainer's, get done with Chainer's, and then go to Lafayette, and you can get $2 off of them. Awesome. Then you got Hell's Dungeon down in Dayton, $3 off. Jenny, do we know Hell's Dungeon?
Yeah, we know a Hell's Dungeon. Raz T.
Right.
Slasher, Fred, and Steven, and John, and so many others. And props to Clown.
Hopeless Way Haunted Trail, free popcorn. What is this? Jenny, how? That's HUDSON, right?
Hudson Haunted House.
That's why.
In Hudson.
I was saying it right, Hudson. Field of Scream. A J&J Field of Scream. 50% off. Look at that. That's pretty
Panic
awesome.
in the Pines.
Panic in the Pines. $5 off. Let's see here. Sydney Haunt Woods. That's $5. Terror in the Trees. There's a. How do you pronounce that one, Jenny?
Terror in the Trees. Let's see.
Right behind Panic in the Pines.
Okay.
Phobia, right?
Phobia Haunted Trail. Free fast pass upgrade with purchase of regular ticket.
Yep.
Then we have Sydney Haunted Woods.
Yep.
Then we have Terror in the Woods. The Sydney is $5 off, and the Terror in the Trees are $5 off.
Yep. And then you got Terror at the Turn, $2
yeah,
off.
That's
Terror
$2.
Springfield, you got $5 off. The Dead Pond or Dead Woods, $3 off. Trail of Nightmares, $3 off. Dude, I'm just going to say this right now. The membership to start out is $20. Sounds like your mom's house. Well, actually, so you're not wrong, sir. I think that's kind of funny because Chainers is at my mom's house. You funny. You just don't have any idea. But all these different haunted houses, you have all these great things. But you know what, Kyle? I do want to tell you right now, sir, there are some haunts at your mom's and your dad's. They're called home haunters. And I think that's pretty cool. I'm just telling you. So I just want you to know you're not wrong with that. That you can go to your mom's house and you can go to your dad's house and go see your home haunt. That's pretty cool. So we are doing a whole bunch of different things. I think it's awesome. But without doubt, go see your haunted houses this year. Go enjoy your haunted houses this year because it's one of the key things. And hopefully everybody has a great time going through this haunted house industry. Because that's one of the key things. Enjoying yourself going through the haunted houses, enjoying the haunters, enjoying everything, because they have put time, effort in a lot of things into a lot of But so, Jenny, is there anything else we think that we need to touch on this episode? Because honestly, that was one of the things that you need to really pay attention to. Some places in the haunted house industry, you need to pay attention to if they're if you can get a discount with cards. You can get a discount if you use cash over cards. I know some are like that. Parking. You also need to pay attention to where you put your cell phone. If you drop a cell phone, it might be gone. Because if you walk through that path and you drop your cell phone, you just might destroy your cell phone. By the time you get it back, it could be in a million crushed pieces. That's terrible, but it's a reality. You should always pay attention to where you put your stuff. Make sure that everything is nice and put away. When somebody chases you, it might not be the funnest thing in the world. Is there anything else, Jenny?
I can't think of anything else that we need to suggest.
Okay. So, I'm kind of confused here. I got a comment here.
Okay. I can't see said comment.
Yeah, I know. I'll bring it up. I don't know how to take this one.
Oh, okay. She doesn't feel like they go after her as bad as they do the guys.
Okay. So, let me just say, if you come to my haunt and my character's out there, there's a good chance that my focus might be on you, or it might be on someone else in your group. I mean, it just depends on how you're going through and this and that. Every haunt wants haunters to go and give a wonderful experience to the guests. And I totally want everybody to understand that if I can't scare you, I'll go after someone else I can scare. But if I don't feel like I'm going to scare anyone, my job is to find a way to entertain. And that is one of the biggest things, because this is part of an industry that is a entertainment industry. So I know a lot of girls that they don't like to be scared. So what they'll do is they'll join the haunt because they don't want to be scared, but they want to do scaring. And this is one of the things that is very important, that we all understand that when you're a person that's trying to scare, you try doing the entire group, you try doing everything, but you want to be a person that entertains. No. It won't be because you're short and blonde, because it's an equal opportunity on my part. I'm just saying, I don't care if you're tall, don't care if you're short, don't care if you're blonde, don't care if you're redhead, don't care anything. If I go and I get Rachel out and I can get you to get fixated on everything, there is a pretty good chance that I will chase you until you can't deal with it anymore. And when I say that, I mean I've had people pass out before. But that's one of the great things. I know I should really just take the opportunity just to back off a little bit. So, I mean, being short doesn't matter to me. Now, if you're too short and I use the drop panel, I might not see you. So you could walk right past the drop panel and I won't even know to trip it. That's been a problem in haunt houses. But usually short's not a problem. We want everybody to enjoy themselves in the haunt house. Where are you from? Are you from Ohio? Just not poking around, but there's a wonderful, what is it, Scare Factor? I think Scare Factor. Scare Factor is a site that you can look at where you're from. And you can go Australia. Well, that's a little different because I don't know of too many haunt houses in Australia, but you know what? If you could get a hold of somebody from Australia that wants to talk about haunt houses and the haunt house industry of how we scare people and this and that, I would love to have them on the show. I love, but dealing with Australia, no. We're here in the United States, so it's kind of like we know what's here. I know I've talked to a lot of people from Canada that have done haunt houses up that way, but I don't know much about Australia. I know, Friday, you have no idea. I'm reading all the comments.
Yeah,
At first, I wasn't sure what was all going on, but
they may have a different view over there than over here.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know much about the haunted houses outside the country very much. I know that
Dude, definitely we need to get somebody from another country on here.
absolutely. That's true. In Australia, the spiders are okay. Fair enough. Okay, I'm going to point this out. Anybody that doesn't know Australia, Australia can have some of the most beautiful culture, beautiful sights, beautiful this and that. But you got to pay attention. If the spiders ain't going to try killing you, there are snakes that try killing you. There are crocodiles that try killing you. And the saltwater crocs are not to be messed with. They are not something you just want to boop on the nose. It'll take your hand off. It'll spin you around. It'll drag you in. So please, if you go to Australia, which I want to go to Australia. If you want to go to Australia, that's awesome. But pay attention. Honestly, I want to go to Queensland. It's the part of Australia I want to go to. But yeah, absolutely. Would love to find out more about haunted houses outside the United States. I know some of the conventions I was doing, well, that doesn't make you feel settled at all. You're dragging people off the beach. It's not what I want to see. Just hanging there, just enjoying the sun. Next thing you know, saltwater croc just grabs your leg and drags you in. It's not what I want. And we wonder why we have got animatronics in the haunted house industry that are giant crocodiles or alligators. I mean, geez, criminy. Jeez. That's not exactly what you want to deal with. But, yeah. But yeah, so back to haunted house industry because I feel like me and this person need to have a conversation later on because I love Australia and I love a lot of things about Australia. And no, it's not just because I was a Steve Irwin fan. He just brought a lot of light to a lot of different things. There's a lot to Australia other than that. But going back to the haunted house industry, because I am going to start throwing out the squirrel warning that we now have on our shows. But without a doubt, haunted houses are opening in October, full 100%. You will see that the haunted houses, you'll see in the haunted house industry, we actually are pretty blessed because as soon as October opens the doors, a lot of haunts open Thursdays and Sundays. Usually you don't see that until it gets into October. But here in Ohio, we have 137 haunted houses. Some other states have, I think Alaska, even Alaska has 4 haunted houses. I think so. All I can really tell you guys is go see what haunted houses are around where, see what kind of haunted houses you guys have, and for our wonderful Australian friend that we're just reading left and right here, if you know of any haunted houses that would like to talk and possibly come on the show, please let us know. We don't know anything. I don't personally know any haunted houses in Australia, but I know that a lot of different countries have haunted houses. A while back, there was an entire talk of a whole bunch of haunters going over to a different country to start. That's interesting. So, hopefully you guys all get an opportunity to go out to one of the haunted houses in the industry near you. I know the closest ones to us is, of course, Chainers, Hammer Brothers, Haunted Town Hall, Hell's Dungeon. That's a couple to start with. Distracted Haunted House isn't too far away from us. So, yeah. Playing haunted houses in Ohio. Friday, I know that you got plenty of them down in Texas, but the problem is Texas is so dang big that, man, you lucky if you can make it to one of them.
The closest ones to me is the Texas Maze of Terror in Vidor, Texas, and then the Gothic Jail After Dark, which is actually inside the jail in DeRidder, Louisiana.
Awesome. But without doubt, guys, we are going to go ahead and jump into this other little button here and see if this button actually works. It's a 50-50 shot today if any of our buttons are going to work. But we're going to see if we can get this button to work. And if it does work, hey, we'll see you guys here in 2 weeks with another wonderful person that deals with the haunted house industry. And in the meantime, don't forget to smile and go see a couple of haunted houses, all right? Let's see if this button works, Jen. Maybe.